joining us now, Chris Rayner and Colin Gold. Good afternoon, gents. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Hi there.
Good to have you here. So listen, is it fair to say Billy Fury doesn't get the credit he's due? I've always thought he was kind of an unsung hero, you know?
Yeah, they're not playing his records as much as they used to. I mean,
No, but in that era, okay, you hear about Elvis and you'll hear about Roy Orbison and Cliff Richard and the Beatles and everything else, but Billy Fury was as successful as anybody, wasn't he?
Yeah, you don't really hear. I don't know why you don't hear his music on the radio as much as what you should do.
Yeah.
Really,
He was quite a character. I mean, he had health problems, but I mean, at one stage he was selling more records than the Stones or the Beatles.
yeah, he did. Yeah, right. He did. He outsold the Stones in the '60s.
That's incredible.
For Deppy, yeah, isn't it? You know,
that's a nice thing on your CV, isn't it? I sold more records than the Stones, you know. So why didn't, or was he a megastar across the world? You know?
No, he wasn't. He was confined to England, and Britain, Great Britain. Really, he was just one of those things. I think that Larry Parnes took him over to America to try and crack America, but he didn't. It didn't work.
Yeah, just wondering why, or was he just one of those things? A bit like Robbie Williams going to the States and it didn't happen for him.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's his, maybe that's what it is. It's something like that. But Billy, you know, he wrote a lot of his early stuff, and he was into rockabilly, and the rockabilly crowd, which I love as well. You know, they still love Billy. That Sound of Fury album is still very important, you know, in their psyche. But a lot of his records, for some reason, Halfway to Paradise was a cover of a Goffin King cover of I think it was the guy from Dawn, Tony Orlando. Yeah.
If my mate Brian Young's listening, Brian, thinking of you because he's the biggest Billy Fury fan in the world, you know. If you see a guy down front going bananas and maybe crying to some of the songs, it'll be Brian. Okay. So I was just wondering, he wrote his own songs, didn't he?
In the early days,
which it was unusual then, I suppose.
He was, yeah. I mean, that's what he started out doing, actually. And he wrote 2 or 3 songs, which were his first 3 records. But I think the record company saw his future in the big ballads, and they were right. You know, I mean, he's far more successful. You know, once Halfway to Paradise hit, there was all the When Will You Say I Love You, Last Night Was Made for Love. When it was endless. There were the big ballads mostly, and he could handle those well.
Yeah, but even when his career was on the wane, I suppose, in the early 70s, he was still the kind of guy that couldn't walk the streets. He was being mobbed everywhere, wasn't he? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, when we were with him in the 70s, I mean, even then he had to get out. We used to do the longest playoffs in the world, so he could get out there because it was absolutely mental. I don't know what it must have been like in the 60s, but it was pretty bad in the 70s. You know, the dressing room doors would be coming off its hinges. They were trying to get to him.
It's amazing, and he was quite an imposing character, wasn't he? A tall guy, you know.
Yeah, he was. He was about 6 foot in his socks.
Yeah,
big broad shoulders. You know, but
because he did play one of the roles in the David Essex musical That'll Be the Day.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
What was his name? Was he Stormy Tempest
or
something like that?
Yeah, he was. I think Billy thought at first, you know, with that one, I think he thought they were taking the mickey a little bit because he was. But Billy Fury, we'll call him Stormy Tempest. I haven't, you know, but I think he got it. And he turned up once with, to one of our shows with Keith Moon.
Yeah.
And he played the drums. He played our drummer's drum kit.
Keith Moon did?
Yeah.
So who fixed the drum kit later?
No, he was quite...
We need a drum kit mechanic. Yeah. But, was he happy with the acting?
No. You know, he wasn't a natural actor, you know, and even on stage, Billy was a very nervous performer, you know.
Yeah, that's strange.
But he could turn it on once he was in Billy Fury. When we would do the big theatres, you could see a difference in Billy. Like this light went on because he had heart problems. He had to temper his act. So for a lot of the clubs, he would temper it down. But for the big theatres, you know, you saw a different Billy, and he could just. I mean, when he was in Dublin, I mean, we tell the story of the show. They brought the curtain down on him because this is in the 60s because it was too risque.
Yeah,
and which probably, I don't know what he was doing. Probably nothing really.
Yeah,
but at the
probably
time,
nothing. You know,
yeah.
Probably showed him a bit of elbow or something. But that's amazing. And he suffered from rheumatic fever as well, didn't he?
Yeah, was born with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the medication then wasn't about, like today. If wasn't that technically advanced, otherwise he could probably still be here. It's just such a shame, really.
But it's, I mean, he sort of had different things holding him back, and still managed to be a massive star.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm still baffled by America not breaking for him, because if you listen to the records, it's the kind of sound that they were buying at the time, and everything going for it.
Well, it was quite amazing, but it's like I say. But who would believe that Robbie Williams, every part of the planet but America knows him?
Yeah, that's right. Well, listen. So the show is the Billy Fury story, and I'm trying to look at the dates here. Yes, Millennium Forum. On Thursday the 7th of September, Friday the 8th in the Grand Opera House in Belfast. Two fine venues.
Looking forward to it.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Do you find that the audience are from that era? I mean, I'm getting texts now from people who I know are maybe in their 30s who are going to this show. So
great.
That's a surprise for me, So
yeah. We're tending to find there's more youngsters coming because they're joining rock and roll clubs and rockabilly clubs.
Yeah.
And they're just getting into Billy's music, which is a good thing, which is quite good. Yeah.
Well, it should be good. Right, you're going to sing us a song, boys?
Yeah, we'll do...
Well, this is one Billy wrote.
Yeah.
One of his early ones, and please excuse us if you don't know this one, but it was a bit of it, and Billy wrote it. That's why we're going to do it.
Okay, good stuff. Go ahead.
It's called Colette.
Oh, Colin, 8:30, don't be late, don't forget we have a day, Colin. How I love you, Colin. I'll be on time and say you're mine, Colin. Believe me, honey, when I say I think about you night and day, Colin. How I need you, Colin. Don't let us part, you'll break my heart, Colin. Saw you walking close by. I didn't start talking cause I was too shy. Then you looked into my eyes. Don't whisper any goodbyes. Colette, Colette, don't forget, Colette. I need you so don't ever go, Colette. 9:30, ain't on time. Guess you played me down the line, Colin. How I love you, Colin. You broke a vow, I'm lonely now, Colin. You broke a vow, I'm lonely now, Colin. You broke a vow, I'm lonely now, Colin.
Colin Gold and Chris Rayner, thank you very much, guys.
Thanks,
thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay, folks, that's Halfway to Paradise, the Billy Fury story. Millennium Forum, Thursday the 7th of September, and on Friday the 8th in the Grand Opera House.